whenever we talk about this on YouTube, people are like, nothing's gonna happen. Well, let's look at this story.
It is super early here on Thursday morning, and I'm making this video as I've made many videos like this. I've done lots of content on this specific topic. You've already seen the thumbnail, you've already seen the title, but I had a guy who reached out to me who essentially, him and his friends were drugged and robbed in Cartagena recently. So he reached out to me on Instagram, and I just want to give the next part of this video a little bit of context so it's not just random. But he and his friends essentially met some girls in Cartagena in the basically clock tower area and brought them back to their apartment. As of course, we all say, you need to be careful, you need to watch your drinks.
See, just like this guy showed the ID. The reason I didn't show the ID is because I have the IDs for the same girls that did that. The reason I didn't show the IDs is the last time I did a YouTube or live stream that had some IDs in it, YouTube took the video down. So I was like, can I show it? Can I not show it? But he showed the IDs. I have the IDs of the same ladies that did the other stuff. And now it's not like a one-on-one thing. They're robbing groups because they can spike everybody and they can steal from everybody.
And this guy expressed to me that, you know, they knew that, but they decided to still be essentially kind of reckless, shall I say, in my opinion, with the supervision of these girls. Now, where the next part of this video is essentially starting is, you know, he reached out to me. I told him, hey, if you have, you know, some stuff that you can send me, police report, you know, any information you can send me, I will do my best to make a video and put this out and try to help bring, you know, more awareness to it. Not that there isn't a million pieces of content out about this type of stuff already, but for some reason, you guys continue to ignore, you know, the content that people are putting out about getting drugged and robbed and dealing with certain types.
I like that he's saying that because despite all the videos that we've done on this, and like I said, I don't live there now, but I lived there. Okay, I consider myself as Colombian as it gets. And despite all the content that I've put out and all the warnings that I've given to people, and despite all the connections that I have in Colombia, and I tell people everything, like I give out so much information that people should be paying me consultation fees for. I just literally give this information out for free. And you still find some dumb motherfuckers go in there and repeat it. See, as long as this magnet exists, crimes like this will never stop in Colombia. This is why they are moving the location from Medellín to Cartagena and Pereira and in all these other small towns. There are now issues of scopolamine happening, especially amongst working girls, and they know where the gringos are. So he says this happened in the clock tower. The other one happened in Taboo. Some of the cases have happened in Delirium and also Playa Hollywood. What do all these places have in common? Just like in Lleras in Medellin, prostitutes. As long as you stay in these areas, you will run into girls like this. It's almost like 50-50. You will run into issues like this. So maybe if you're not going for a cultural experience, maybe medical tourism, or just flat out entertainment where you don't drink any alcohol, just go to the nightclub but don't drink any alcohol and make sure you're hanging out with people or use a plug. Even people that live there are susceptible to these kind of crimes. And now they're literally stealing every dollar out of your banking apps. They're taking all the money that you got. Because see, that $50,000 is enough to make these women retire. But what they're doing is it's so easy that they get people every weekend. Every Friday they get somebody. Friday through Sunday they get a new group of guys that are coming in there for the first time. So every weekend these women are making anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 to $100,000. If I didn't tell you this story because I was personally connected to it, you would have never heard about it. So the fact that it's happening means that there's still business for these girls to keep doing this. The only way it stops is one, if people stop going there, or two, if people go there for the right reasons. If you don't go there for the right reasons, or if you don't stop going, this business is still going to flourish. And there's a lot of men behind this. From the phone call that I had, these women are not even getting all that money to themselves. It's a criminal network. And Colombians will take your life for that $50,000 easy. They'll take your life for $1,000, let alone 50. So my fellow Americans, I know, like I said, I've said some harsh things to America, to black folks on the internet all the time. But at the core of this, it's because I care. You have to be very careful when you're dealing with these criminal organizations. It's not the hood. You're in somebody else's country. You got to be very careful when you do this stuff, man.
Type of women, and I've said it many times before, you do not make exceptions to the rules. Once you know what the rules are, things you don't do, don't go to random places with people you don't know, don't leave drinks unattended, stop inviting random girls back to your place without knowing them properly. But of course, there's always going to be guys coming here for that specific reason of meeting and entertaining women, as long as there are airplanes flying to Colombia. So sometimes these efforts feel like they are falling on deaf ears, but nevertheless, this is going to be another video about it. So the next part of this video is around midnight last night, where we got on a phone call and essentially he told me his story. So here it is. Why do you think that?
Because, like, they returned the next morning when we got up. Obviously, the Airbnb called the police, whatever. And they returned, they said, well, yeah, they found some girl last night with with a bag of stuff. So when we go to the police station now, and they're all like laughing, and like it's like 30 of them just waiting. You know what I mean? And they're all laughing and stuff like that. And they returned some stuff, but they never returned everything. Like the jewelry and all that stuff, they only returned like slide and the wallet with the ID, but not with the money inside the wallet and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yo, I never seen anything like that in my life, dog.
Okay, so just so I'm trying to note all this down. So around what time did you guys went out and you met the girls?
It was early, like 7.
Damn. Okay.
Around like 7, 9. And we'll probably get back to the crib at like 9 o'clock.
So were they in a club or were they on the street?
It was on the Wall Street.
Okay. So were they? Was it 5 girls that were all together, or was it just kind of 5 random girls that each guy kind of picked out?
No, what happened is the girls would pick up like one and she call her friends.
Okay. Yeah, that's where that's still bad.
Yo, I never seen anything like that in my life, though. My only thing is, if this, like, I don't mind giving you the story, but I cannot be like my face and stuff like that. I got a wife and kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm not trying to, put anybody on blast as far.
Damn, this guy has wife and kid, and he still went out there and did that bullshit. Like, well, what are you gonna tell your wife about that losing that kind of money? That's fucking ridiculous, bro.
As far as your, face or anything like that, did anything get back, back to your wife or kid? Like nobody found out back home?
Cause we were drugs, cause like even I had my wife and all that cards was swiping, and she blew me up. Everybody joked out. We don't know nothing. And when we finally like wake up, and that's when like they even take our phones and everything. There's security at Airbnb, and one of our guys like got up before us and went upstairs checking up on us with the security and all that stuff. And that's when everybody like tried to figure out what the fuck happened. And that's when the security guy called the police and we went to the station. And that's when we got our phones.
Oh, so they had the phones there.
Yeah, they had the phones there too.
That's
and they put everything on airplane mode.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the girls took the stuff and then somehow randomly got caught. And yeah, because that hardly ever happens. At least here where I am in Medellin, like once you get drugged and robbed, it's very rare that the girls get caught.
Yeah.
Or like they end up recovering the stuff, anything at all, because a lot of these girls tend to work with, syndicates or like a gang or of guys or something like that, and they usually pick them up, and once they get your stuff they leave and they go to wherever they're
Yeah. You see what I was saying? This guy lives there, so he knows exactly the same things that I talk about and the same things that I know. These people don't work alone. It's all syndicates. It's bigger criminal organizations. Sometimes it's FARC, sometimes it's ALN. It's like another wing of their business plan. So these gringos going in there don't understand the complexities of how this works. I salute to you, Sagat. And like I said, I can blow the horn as much as I can out here. Most of these guys are not gonna listen anyway. We can just laugh about it when it happens, right?
They're gonna go, and they figure it out from there.
We're better Medellin, bro. We know what's up. We watch all you guys' videos, so we know what's up. So that's what I'm saying. The cops so involved in this shit, bro. It's like they even like texting. One of my homeboys had one of the cops' number, but this whole time he thinking like that's like a investigation or something. Cool. Went to one of them, like police station, whatever. And the guy was trying to like negotiate with him, but everything was not clear. You know, when you trucked up and you're still not in your right mind.
Yeah.
And we had to catch the flight the next, like literally the same day when we wake up. First Spirit was fucked up. We went was in Spirit, and Spirit for some reason shut down. So we was catching flight. We were scheduled to catch like 3 flights to get back to Miami.
Okay.
So we didn't even have time even to even like stay. All we did just do the police report, whatever, and just did.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we didn't want to get stuck there. We were just looking at it like that.
These guys sound like the same story that I just told you about, right? Those guys also didn't have enough time to do a police report. They had to leave the next day, which is part of the script. They know, the girls that do this, they know that you don't have enough time. They know you're there for the weekend. They even ask you that, because the guys told me, so the girls did ask them, how long are you staying here? So they know within 3 days, there's no way. I'm surprised they got their phones back, because the girls probably didn't need the phone. They tossed it out somewhere and just got for you. What are you dealing with a phone when you've got $50,000, right? What you got to lose?
Like, damn, so lost, so fuck it. I mean,
And you guys had your passports. Those didn't get stolen.
yeah, they left
They
that.
don't ever take your passports. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, they
don't
left
take
that.
your
For some reason, they left that. They left the passport. They even take the passport to the police. They give us a passport. Everybody had the passport for some reason.
And what's the last thing you remember?
Just like take a sip of drink. That's it.
Damn. Okay.
Yep, and they don't ever smash. I did ask those 2 guys. I said, did any of you guys smash? They're like, nope, we didn't. So you did all that shit and didn't smash, and you lost 50 grand.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is there's a couple other guys. One of the guys I know, he has an account called Medellín Unseen, and he has a much larger following than I do. So I'm gonna hit him up and kind of explain the story and the stuff that you're sending me as far as like their IDs and stuff. I'll send it to him. And then there's one other guy who's an expat that's living here in Medellin. His content has been shifting more towards this type of stuff. So I'll reach out to him as well and see if he'll do a post. Majority of the people though that follow our type of content tend to be more so people that are coming here to Medellin, but in general, people that come here, they'll go to Cartagena as well. So I'm pretty sure.
You know what's crazy, man? Like before I cut you off, like one of the down, right? My homeboy had her number, and she still don't block him. She's still texting him like, "Oh, the cops have everything and all that," and it's like she was part of it, but it's like they forced her to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she keeps saying like, they're threatening her family and stuff like that. And even the cop texts him talking about like they find the girls, but all the girls already left the city.
Wow.
It's wrong. Yeah, how come you find the girls with a bunch of stuff and none of the girls locked up?
Yeah, exactly. There was a video that just came out. I don't know if you follow the YouTuber Obiland. He just put out a video about somebody who got drugged and robbed out here in Medellin, and supposedly the girl was in jail. So I'm part of a WhatsApp group that kind of does like a Tinder watch, and they're constantly looking out on Tinder to see if any of the previous girls that have gotten caught before show back up again. And this girl that was in this video who got caught for drugging and robbing this guy, and this was literally recently, and supposedly like the cops took her in jail and all that stuff, and it's supposed to be up to like a 5-year sentence or whatever for what she did because the guy wanted to press charges. No. Her profile popped up back on Tinder again.
No. See, these gringos, when they live in Colombia, they don't learn the laws, or not just the laws. They don't understand the culture. These girls don't get 5 years. If they did get 5 years, they wouldn't be doing this. They get 1 week. Some of them, if they are poor, if they didn't have any money to bribe their way out, and they're really, really poor, and their family members, they couldn't bail them out, they would get about 6 months to a year. Nobody gets more than 1 year for robbing you unless they did the robbery with guns. Like if it's a violent, like an armed robbery. Even if no like gunfire is exchanged, as long as they had a gun on them, then the charges are a little bit more significant. But for robbing a gringo, for trying to buy prostitutes over there, 1 year is the max they'll get. Most of them get 6 months. If they've never been caught, they usually get 6 months, if that. That's why they do. The same girls will go in and come back out again. But most of them don't even get to do time because they can pay their way. Like I said, I have about maybe 4 different police officers on my phone that can get me out of any trouble in Colombia. We just through them. And through them, I can meet folks at the Fiscalia and there will be no charges if I did anything wrong. I mean, I don't do that. I have their numbers not because I needed protection. I have it because most of them are friends of friends. That's how that, or maybe the last guy that I just added is because we're trying to help this guy's situation. That's how he took my number, But for the most part, I stay away from all these things that get these boys in trouble. Stay away, man. Go somewhere else. Go to another country. If this is really what you want to do, go somewhere else. Colombia is a very dangerous place. I keep saying it. They won't listen, man. The story that this person is telling me sounds like the timeline is about the same time that I was there. And that's the same time that happened. And all the things line up. The girls are not from Cartagena. They're not local people. These are all Medellin girls. Because everybody knows them to be scoping in Medellin, they've decided to go to Cartagena on the weekends because the foreigners flying into Cartagena on the weekends. It's a holiday. It's a destination. It's like Cancun. People just go there on Thursday through Monday. And that's why they're going there. With Medellin, a lot of people are expats. They live there. So if you get dragged and robbed, you can run into that person one day, right? That's not the case with Cartagena. You show up after your holiday is over, before you even lodge a complaint at the Fiscalia, that case is a dead case. You're not going to get your shit back. You've lost all this money. Some of the banks will return some of it, but I have a feeling very soon, banks in America, because there's a travel advisory out for Colombia, and the U.S. Embassy in Bogota has told you not to be on dating apps. I have a feeling that very soon they will start doing, not returning your money for claims when you get scoped in Colombia. That's gonna happen, at some point, because they've told you don't go there. Don't go.
So,
Wow.
it's
Yeah,
like,
but they're all working with them cops, but I'm telling you. And when my homeboy texted the cops, like,
You hear what the dude said? He said they are working with the cops. Of course, the cops are. You know how much police officers make in Colombia? Mid-tier police officers make, they call it salario minimum, which is like pretty much $500 a month. So if the girls got 50,000, that cop's gonna get 1,000. Why would they push any charges? See, they don't like you like that. They don't give it. Colombians don't really like Americans like that. They don't. They really don't. So why, if you're not gonna go there to be a great tourist? I mean, these people just had the worst 40th birthday celebration in Colombia ever. I forgot to tell you one of the stories. The girl had called me on Saturday that they were going to Isla Rosario, which is Cholon, the islands outside of, on the south shore of the Atlantic Ocean in Cartagena. But Cholon is notorious for scamming. And I told the ladies, eat before you go. Don't buy any food and don't buy any drinks when you get to Cholon. This chick didn't listen. When they got to Cholon, they had $1,000 bill for 5 plates of food. 5 plates of food. So they paid $200 a plate of rice, red snapper fish, and then salads. That's it. And patacon, which is like plantain. So it's a side of patacon, ensalada, arroz, and they call the fish, it's not even red snapper. It's mojarra roja, which is a different type of fish. It's like red tilapia. That food, if you bought in Cartagena itself, is $10. They paid $200 for it. And I was like, what kind of holiday have you guys come on, man? Like, I gave you all the notes and the advice, and you still went out there and you did the exact opposite of what I told you not to do.
Yo, I know the police. I know your police have the rest of the stuff, like the jewelry and stuff
Of
like
course
that,
they do.
and the money. And the cops were like, "Oh, how dare you talk blaming the uniform like that? We have your data. We're gonna report you and stuff like that."
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the unfortunate thing, man. It's like you got to just take that L at that point, because be lucky you got back whatever you got back, and that's it.
Not
Cause
even that. Yeah.
Hey, I like that he said that. Like I told a dude that called me that when he got pulled over for having weed, and I said, bro, you just got to take the L, pay that shit, and move on, bro. Sometimes you just got to take the L, because all these YouTube videos we've done is enough to warn you, and if you don't listen, these are the things that will happen to you. Okay, I've been literally lived in and out of there for the last maybe 12 years, and I've never had any issues, knock on wood. But I don't find myself in places and in these environments, and mostly people like me will slip up from time to time because you feel like, oh, nothing will happen to you. But Colombia is the one place that you don't live like that. You always want to live as if you are the first time. In Ghanaian folklore, there's a saying that says, Ohoho, which is a foreigner, translates to a foreigner, is like a child. So the translation is, a foreigner is like a child. So if you're a foreigner in somebody's land, you're just like a child. It's like me telling you guys about America. You guys probably going to look at me and start laughing at me, because there's things you know that I don't even know. I didn't even go to high school here, right? So I wouldn't know America any more than you guys do. Okay, you guys, it doesn't matter how long I live here, you guys will still know this place more than I do. Okay, and that's the same mindset that you need to have when you go to places like Latin America in general, not just Colombia, just general Latin America, and everywhere else you find yourself, Africa, Europe. You're a foreigner, you're like a baby. Just accept that and move differently. But you guys got the gist of the story, man. It's corrupt police, corrupt systems. They're about to go into an election cycle. The economy is tough. This last year has been very tough for the Colombians in terms of economics. So crime is really, really up, and it's gotten more and more dangerous. I think you need to heed to the advisory that the U.S. government has put out and stay out.
Like you're not overdosing, something like that.
Because I saw the picture you sent me. It, essentially showed like a bank account with some charges, but at least it doesn't look like your account or whoever's account it was like completely cleaned out. Because I've heard stories of people getting like their entire bank account cleaned out, cryptocurrency cleaned out, credit cards maxed out, because they're. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. But no, I'm just saying, like, that's just like for mine. I mean, imagine they got like 5 bank accounts.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure if my homeboy like want to cooperate with what I'm doing with you, but it's just like this shit like damn we fucked up. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Did he say he lost $5,000 in his account? I didn't catch that, but I don't want to go back to it. Let me know in the chat.
It's just crazy, but I don't want nobody else like go through this shit. It's like, bro, you wait, but they even take your earrings, bro. Like
earrings too.
Like yes, clothing like short pants, like literally like stupid clothes, short pants, t-shirt, and all that. But I've never witnessed anything like that, bro.
I think there's definitely going to be people that are going to be like, well, like you guys kind of know better, like.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, oh well. You kind of knew what you were getting. Not exactly. Like I always say, regardless, whatever you come down to Colombia to have a good time, whatever it is, but it doesn't mean that this type of stuff should happen. Like if you were to go to the Philippines, you don't got to worry about this.
Bro, they rob them motherfuckers like crazy, man. I've never seen shit like that. Them they took their boxer shorts on top of it.